last knob on the right, Steve,
Oh,
on your mixer.
Oh.
Turn that all the way to the left.
last all the way to the left.
Welcome to the Chili Implement pregame show. Guys, we have got a big night of girls sectional basketball here for you tonight. Again, this pregame show brought to you by Chili Implement, your local Kubota dealer right here in Wisconsin, located just west of Marshfield for all your farm equipment, attachment, construction, lawn and garden, utility vehicles, plus parts and service, all right there at Chili Implement, your Kubota dealer here in central Wisconsin, located just west of Marshfield. As I said, a big sectional semifinal night here tonight. What that means is girls basketball teams throughout the whole state, throughout the entire state, are just 2 games away from making a state tournament appearance here in this 2021 WIAA postseason tournament. Very exciting times for all teams that are still alive right now, and that includes 2 of our home teams here tonight, the Assumption Royals taking on Independence, and we've got the Neillsville Warriors taking on St. Croix Falls. And we'll start first in Division 5 with those Assumption Royals. As I take a look at the brackets here, Assumption is the 2 seed. They are hosting Independence, the 3 seed. And on the other side of that bracket, it's Wazeeka-Steuben, the 1 seed, hosting 4 seed Highland. So those of you watching that game tonight, you'll get score updates throughout the night of that Wazeeka game. Again, Assumption comes in at a record of 12-7 overall. They were 3-way champions of the Merriwood South, and they are led by junior Anaya Sanz de Rosas, averaging 13 points per game. Emily Bowen averages 7.5 rebounds per game, and those will be names you'll hear a lot during that Assumption Independence game, again, scheduled to tip here at the top of the hour. In our other game, it's, as I said, Neillsville taking on St. Croix Falls. Neillsville on the road, making the nearly 3-hour trip all the way up to St. Croix Falls as the 3 seed. The home Saints are the 2 seed. And the other side of that bracket is Northwestern, the 4, and Aquinas is the 1. Those of you watching that broadcast will get scoring updates from lacrosse in that Aquinas-Northwestern game throughout, and we'll keep you updated on all of those things. Again, Neillsville coming in at a record of 18-1. The only loss on the season was to Division I Wauwatosa West way back just after Christmas. St. Croix Falls, though, only with 1 loss. So we expect a very good game there. Neillsville led in scoring by Bella Opelt, just averaging 15 points per game, and Paris Opelt's sister averaging 5.2 rebounds per game, along with Emma Mosley with 5 boards per game as well. And it'll take those 3, we think, in a big night here tonight to take on the height and the skill and the talent of those St. Croix Falls Saints. Again, winners will play Saturday, and they will play in a sectional final. That is a game. The winner goes to state. As I said at the top of the pregame show, all teams alive today are just 2 games from making a state tournament appearance here in 2021. Other game links available at ZaleskiSports.com. You can find free game links if you're looking for Edgar, Auburndale, Athens, and others. Those game links available over at ZaleskiSports.com. But right here on the Zaleski Sports Broadcast Network tonight, it is Assumption and Independence, and St. Croix Falls and Neillsville. And you've been watching the Chili Implement pregame show. Again, Chili Implement, your Kubota dealer here in central Wisconsin, located just west of Marshfield. Check them out. And you can also check them out online at chiliimplement.com. Your game is coming up next.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota subcompact or compact tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months and save $1,000. See your local Kubota dealer today.
Your local Kubota dealer is Chili Implement, located 1 mile north of Highway 10 in Chili.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Assumption High School as we get you ready for sectional semifinal girls basketball action here tonight. As the Assumption Royals coming in at 12-8 overall, head coach by Ryan Klein. Welcome in the Independence Indies, 17-5 overall, head coached by John Zilla. Again, good evening, everyone. Steve Mapes alongside Dan Ross, Kevin Bargander, Jason Zaleski, Matt Reeby, Brandon Berg, and Vinny here at Assumption High School. And it's just a matter of elimination, I guess, that Assumption was able to host a sectional semifinal here. One of two number one seeds left. Wazika Steuben hosting Highland tonight. But Dan, we talked a lot about, especially the Assumption girls coming in hot this year, or coming in hot the last couple months. 9-11 in 2021, and have won 10 of their last 13.
Yeah, the second half of the season, Assumption's played really well. You get the second time through for the conference schedule. Assumption's really rolled the last 10, 11, 12, 13 games. They put themselves in a great position. You get to host a sectional game. That never happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming off of a 59-43 win over Loyola on Saturday, Jessie Grunhofer, 25 points, 9 of 13 from the field. Ayanara Sansi-Rosas, another dominant performance. She had 16 points. She has had 14 and 22 in both of the first halves. Ayanara stepping up again for the Royals down the stretch.
Yeah, when you have the best guard on the floor, a lot of times that really leads to lopsided victories, and that's kind of what we've seen the last couple of weeks from Assumption.
And for the Independence Indies, coming in 17-5 overall, head coached by John Zilla, 9-4 in the Dairyland Small Conference. That was good for second, behind Alma Center Lincoln, who they just beat on Saturday, 56-54, and they are led in large part by their 6-foot senior, Zy Connor, 32 points on Saturday, averaging 26 points a game. That's good for third in the state. 16 rebounds, and again, leading the state. She did last year in rebounds, leading the state again this year in rebounds with 16 a game for the Independence Indies.
Yeah, the Dairyland Small Conference is actually a sneaky good conference, and Independence's 2 losses were to Alma Center Lincoln by 1 point and by 2 points, and Independence was able to finally top them. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, and Independence proved that last Saturday.
And coming off of a regional semifinal win as well against Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran, 15 points for Zy Connor. Again, just an outstanding young guard. I guess not young to most of us here, a senior guard for the Independence Indies. Over 1,260 points in her career, 77 games played. And again, a player that scores that much but does not shoot three-pointers is hard to come by in basketball nowadays.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is matching styles almost. And talking to the Assumption coaching staff coming into this game, it's really going to come down to who is able to dominate inside on both ends of the floor. And knowing that Assumption hasn't really seen a lot of that this year, and that's what's going to make tonight really special, I think.
Well, and that's one issue that especially Emily Bowen has run into the last 2 or 3 weeks, or since they've been back. Foul trouble has plagued her a lot in this year, and if it's anything like a post presence like the Stratford girls have, it could be trouble, as they lost to Stratford by 20 2 weeks ago. So we'll see. It's going to be talking a lot to the coaches. We'll see what their game plan is, but they were saying double team Zy the whole night, and we'll see if the other Indies can keep up. Averaging 53 points a game are the Indies. Assumption at 53 as well. It's going to be one heck of a ball game. Sit back, relax. It is exclusive sectional semifinal action here from Assumption High School. It is the Assumption Royals and the Independence Indies live from Assumption. We'll be back with our national anthem and starting lineup right after this.
Assumption, Independence, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege, with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, the cooperation
All right, as always, appreciate Maria Hartley and Izzy Youngworth with the national anthem. They've done it all year long and have done a phenomenal job. Starting lineups first for the Independence Indies. A 5'8 junior, number 2, Alana Back. Number 3, a 5'5 junior, Avery Pape. Number 5, a 5'5 junior, Aubrey Prochinski. A 5'4 senior, number 22, Emerson Prochinski. And a 6' senior, number 24, Zy Connor. For the Royals, a 5'3 senior, number 14, Sammy Nelson. A 5'5 sophomore, number 24, Kristen Casey. A 5'4 junior, number 30, Ayanara Sanz de Rosas. 5'10 senior, number 32, Jesse Grunhofer. And in the middle, a 6'4 senior, number 54, Emily Bowen. Again, Nelson, Casey, Sanz de Rosas, Grunhofer, and Bowen. Back, Pope, Prochinski, and Connor. And final thoughts before we get this one underway. It's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, we see already that Independence isn't that big of a team. Very guard-oriented. A lot of 5'5", 5'6" on the floor. Assumption guards just as tall, if not taller. So this is going to be a good matchup tonight, Steve.
I've been optimistically excited, optimistically nervous all week coming into this one. Assumption will start with the basketball, working from left to right as the Indies are in their 2-3 zone with Zy right in the middle. Matched up with Emily Bowen. Kristen Casey swings it over to Sammy Nelson in the right baseline. Back over to Casey, top of the key to Ayanara. No motion inside the three-point line. Emily Bowen down low, gets triple teamed. Kristen Casey, top of the key, takes a step over to Jesse Grunhofer and a turnover to start the game for Assumption. The Royals averaging that tough 15 turnovers a game. The Indies in their road purple uniforms. See what the defense does. Watching Zy just loves to back down her opponents. Three-pointer right wing, just left short. Offensive rebound by Connor and lays it in.
Yep, no one got a body on her.
16 rebounds a game, 26 points a game, and the Indies are out on top, 2-0 to begin here against the Assumption Royals. Kristen Casey over to Sammy Nelson on the left wing, down to Jesse Grunhofer. Grunhofer at 25 in their win against Loyal on Saturday. 1 minute gone by, 2-0 Royals, and Emily Bowen throws it in the hands of Zy Connor.
Assumption being a little bit timid of Zy right now.
Averaging 4 steals a game for Miss Connor. Emily Bowen and Zy AAU players. Swings it over to the right side to Pope, and Connor lost control, and it's going to be out of bounds to Independence.
A lot of attention inside on Zy. Double team at least, maybe 3 Royals on her at any time.
Prochinski to inbound, swings it back around to right side. Again, a team that doesn't shoot a whole lot of three-pointers, just coming in at 26%, 62 of 235. Skips it all the way across, pull-up jumper, and got it to go. 4-0 as Aubrey Prochinski knocks down the 2. Independence out on top.
One thing that Independence is doing here on defense, you'll notice that they're pushing their zone. They're extending it out past the three-point line. That's really creating issues for Assumption getting into their offense.
Kristen Casey over to Ayanara. Emily Bowen over. Back over to Ayanara on the left baseline. Down to Emily Bowen working on Connor. Right hand just left short and off the mark and rebounded by Connor. Pape swings it over to Prochinski. Picks up her dribble right near the center circle. Swings it around down to Connor. Gets double teamed. Left hand, left short. Fought for. And even though she was double teamed on the shot, she moved. She got position and almost got the offensive rebound.
Yeah, she's really quick. Really impressed with her early.
Prochinski to inbound. Swings it up to Avery. Looking down to Connor. Connor and Bowen down low. Three-pointer right side and knocks it down. Emerson Prochinski, and it's 7-0. Indies on top.
Yeah, Coach Klein's going with a set play here.
Ionara gets a screen from Grundhofer. Skips it across to Jesse. Down to Emily Bowen, gets double teamed. Over to Kristen Casey, all the way until lane. Right hand up and can't get it to go. Rebound fought for, and Kristen Casey comes away with it. Ionara left hand and can't get it to go. Offense rebound, Emily Bowen. Right hand can't get it to go.
Lot
and
chances.
Rebounded by Connor. Prochinski. Now Pape with it. To Prochinski, to Connor. Swings around to Pape, right side. Prochinski, 3 more. Got it! Three-pointer, Emerson Prochinski, 10-0 Independence. Hot start for the Indies here. And there's going to be a foul as Ionara goes to the floor. 14:25 to go in the opening half, 10-0 Independence.
Yeah, we definitely want to see the Royals get something easy here in this out of bounds.
Talked about not hitting a lot of three-pointers and needing your role players to come in hot, and Independence has done so far. Emerson Prochinski with 6 points already. Ionara with it now, swings it over to Sammy Nelson. Nelson looking down to Bowen. Kristen Casey top of the key. Ionara over to Sammy Nelson, looking down low to Emily Bowen. Left hand, Emily lays it in.
Yep, good seal.
Royals on the board, 4 minutes into the basketball game, 10-2 Independence. Prochinski down to Connor, nearly poked away. Over to Prochinski on the right baseline. Top of the corner to Pape. Back over to Aubrey Prochinski. Prochinski over to Pape. Over to Prochinski on the right baseline. A little better defense on the Royals, and that one's going to be thrown over the head of Connor and taken away by Bowen. Ionara across the timeline on the right side. Over to Kristen Casey. Casey gets a screen from Emily Bowen. Bowen over to Sammy Nelson on the left side, down to Emily Bowen. Bowen gets double teamed and throws it in the hands of Aubrey Prochinski. Second turnover via that error by Emily Bowen. What a move there. What a great job running the floor by Alana Back.
The secondary transition, Assumption was not ready for it. Got a wide open layup, and here's the timeout by Coach Klein.
Coach Klein will take a timeout. We'll do the same. Back to Assumption after this.
When you want to win, you look for an expert. When you want an expert to look after your vehicle, you do the same. Sherrill Tire and Service Center will treat you with respect and remove the stress and anxiety of having your vehicle serviced or repaired. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you understand what you need.
Sherrill Tire and Service, get your car done right.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids Assumption. The Independence Indies have jumped out to a 12-2 lead, and Zy Connor with 2 points. Everybody else really pitching in for the Indies here in the first half. Kayla Kirkman, Izzy Youngworth check in for Sammy Nelson and Kristen Casey, as Highland up 10-8 on Wazeeka Steuben. The winner of this game plays the winner of that game on Saturday. Kayla Kirkman with it, down to Jesse Grundhofer, and it's going to be a foul on Zy Connor.
That's definitely a storyline.
Yeah, it's again Zy, the tallest player by far on this Indies team. Checking in last time, Amaya Ives, and now it's poked away and out of bounds, staying with the Royals. 12:58 to go, opening half. The sectional semifinal. Kayla Kirkman has it over to Youngworth. Youngworth down to Bowen. Bowen dribbles, left hand. Gets bumped by Connor, but rebounded by Zy on the miss by Emily Bowen. Prochinski with it. Gets double teamed by Ionara, and Grundhofer swings it back around to Aubrey Prochinski. Pape with it. Swings it over to Emerson, down to Connor. What a move by Connor, but gets fouled and go to line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, Connor did a real good job of making sure that she had Bowen on her back the entire time and felt where she was at. So when she got it, it was an easy turn towards the baseline. Almost got a three-point play out of it.
Nice quick move by the senior, shooting 70% from the line, and the first one is no good. coming in 188 of 332 as a team. Zai 88 of 142. So she gets to the line quite a bit. The second one for the senior is up, and it is good. 1 for 2 for Connor. And it's 13-2 in favor of Independence. Ionara with it on the right side, hands it off to Izzy Youngworth. 2-3 zone still for Independence. Wouldn't be surprised. Nice job by Emily Bowen, right hand up and in.
Yep, she did a good job carving her way inside. By the time that she made the turn, she was at the basket.
One of the few times that they haven't double teamed her, and she took advantage. 13-4. Pape over to Prodzinski, across the timeline and throws it to nobody, and a turnover as Matt Reeby pokes the ball away from the camera area.
Athletic move.
Yeah, reaching around and poked it out of the way. Under 12 minutes to go, Emily Bowen checks out. Malia Colo, the 5'8 sophomore, checks in. Malia's had a nice postseason. All Royals have had a nice postseason. Ionara steps in, Euro steps it in. That's what we've seen from Ionara in the postseason. Had 14 in the first half against Loyal, had 22 in the first half against Greenwood. Finished with a career-high 27 on Friday last week. Over to Prodzinski, up to Pape. Just throw it up there, and that's exactly what they do. Prodzinski, three-pointer right side, left way short. Grunhofer with the rebound for the Royals. Ionara across the timeline. Swings over to Kayla Kirkman, down to Malia Colo. Grunhofer thought about it, takes it all the way, left hand, can't get it to go. What a rebound by Malia Colo, and the foul's going to go on Independence. 11:15 to go, 13-6, Indies.
Yeah, real good job getting position on the rebound.
Izzy Youngworth inbounding baseline left to our baseline right. Youngworth inbound. Taking her time down to Kirkman, throws it to nobody, and Grunhofer chases it down near the timeline. Ionara with it over to Kayla Kirkman on the left side, down to Jesse Grunhofer, right hand, and Jess lays it in for 2.
Good strong move.
And timeout taken by Coach Zilla. We'll keep her right here as we hear from our friends over at Rapid Sheet Metal. Nobody enjoys being without comfort, even more so on the coldest time of the year. When your furnace is giving you trouble, give the pros at Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling a call for furnace service in Wisconsin Rapids. We'll be there rapidly to figure out and take care of the trouble, and we'll get the comfort working again rapidly. Call Rapid Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling at 715-301-0256 and visit online at rapidsheetmetal.com. So Assumption cutting into this lead, a nice little, 6-0 run?
Yep.
Put some within 5 and doing a lot of the damage down low against this zone.
Yeah, and that's probably going to be Assumption's plan here. The way that Independence is pushing the guards off the arc, it's going to have to be inside. There's a lot more space.
First time out taken by Coach Zilla for Independence. One each now. And that one's nearly poked away. And ball's on the ground. Izzy Youngworth comes away with it. Nice hands by Iz, and it's going to be out of bounds. And back to Independence, but Izzy Youngworth with the good hands.
Good hustle.
Inbounding in the front court for the Indies. Avery Pape for the purple and white. Prodzinski with it. Emily Bowen waiting her turn to check back in. And that one's nearly stolen away from Ives. Over to Prodzinski. 2-3 zone for the Royals as well as it has been for much of this year. Coach Klein tried to go man-to-man earlier this year. Did not work out very well.
No.
As Ionara nearly tips that one away.
Yeah, really interesting. Independence is trying to get a high-low look here out of the zone. You can see them overload the zone when the ball goes to the wing.
Prodzinski with it right in front of Emily Bowen on the bench. Swings it around to the left or right baseline. Three-pointer too strong, and Kayla Kirkman nearly poked away by Jesse Grunhofer. Ionara with it now on the left side. Gets all the way into lane, and it's going to be a travel on Ionara.
Yeah, that's a good call. I know a lot of people would want to see a block charge call there, but it was definitely an extra step as she kind of stepped into the defender. So that's a good call and a good decision to not put a foul on one of the two girls.
A lot of back checks in. Emily Bowen checks back in. Cy Connor swings it around. Still in the backcourt. 10 minutes to go, first half. Connor throws it into the arms of Emily Bowen, and then she turns it over to Malia Colo. Kayla Kirkman across the timeline on the right side. Picks up her dribble over to Izzy Youngworth. Malia Kolo free throw line drive pass over to Emily Bowen. Kayla Kirkman three-pointer, knocks it down. Kayla Kirkman, the huge three for the junior. And it's a 2-point game with 9:35 to go.
Yep, nice inside-outside look. Wide open three.
To Connor, across the timeline to Prochinski. Got it poked away by Sanse Rosas. And that one, Kirkman on the floor. Nice job by Ionara again. The hands for the Royals. That's something that I took away from watching their game against Alma Center, that they like the cross-court pass and at times lazy passes, and the Royals' hands on defense have been phenomenal so far in the first eight and a half minutes. Prochinski to inbound. Still looking into Connor. Prochinski on the right side. Emerson's got 6. Independence hasn't scored in quite a while.
Yeah, they've had open shots, just have not hit them.
Prochinski working on Kristen Casey, swings it back around to Pape. Looking down low to Connor. Backside help, phenomenal jump ball, nice job defensively by Grundhofer and Ionara. Jump ball will stay with Independence. Something again that they've done.
Independence does not know it.
Yeah, no. Something that they've done in the playoffs. They've given the ball to the home team, different than the regular season. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that changed.
Yeah, I was pretty confused.
Yeah.
Prochinski to inbound, up to Pape near the timeline. Swings it back around to Aubrey. Prochinski right on the A of Assumption. Swings it back around to Aubrey. Pape with it now. Kicks it all the way across and not touched, and it's a turnover back to Assumption.
Yeah, Independence getting a little bit impatient with the offense against the Assumption 2-3 zone.
As Coach Klein resetting his offense. Kayla Kirkman bringing it up for the Royals. 8:45 to go, 13-11 in favor of Independence. Ionara gets a screen, sets and launches a three off the back bracket, rebounded by Back. Swings it back around to Prochinski, down to Connor. Connor, line drive pass to Ives, pull-up jumper, and got it to go.
She threw that about 50 miles an hour.
By Ives with the basket.
Yeah, very athletic.
Ionara over to Kirkman. Kirkman down to Bowen, gets double-teamed over to Kristen Casey. She lets a three fly and banks it in. Kristen Casey shooting 18% from beyond the arc this year, banks in a three, and it's a 1-point game. 8 minutes to go. Tough job there. Pull up from 15 feet and rolls in. Banked it in for the Indies. Aubrey Prochinski with her second bucket. Down to Emily Bowen. Bowen left hand up and in. Zy Connor tried to poke it away. Guessed right. Didn't get the ball. 17-16, 7:30 to go. Kirkman steals it away. Smartly down to Ionara, left hand, and the Royals have the lead. Ionara sends De Rosas, and it's a 1-point lead for the Royals. Ives with it, swings it around to Prochinski. Back over to Ives. Up to Prochinski. Thought about the three. Prochinski with it now.
Yeah, she wasn't very confident with it.
Kendall Dillman getting ready to check in for the Royals on the next dead ball. 7 minutes to go, first half. Royals were down 10-0 early on. Down 13-2 as well. Prochinski down, pull-up jumper back, and got it.
Yep, with this zone, that shot's going to be there all night. It's a matter of how much can Independence make that shot.
Kristen Casey with it. Top of the key, over to Ionara, left wing. Starters in besides Sammy Nelson. Ionara kicks it out to Grundhofer, skips it all the way across to Kayla Kirkman. She steps through and lays it in. Kayla Kirkman has had herself quite the return after quarantine and has been on fire for the Royals.
That's a real nice left-handed finish.
Prochinski with it. And Kirkman comes away with a steal, and she'll lay it in again. Kayla Kirkman on fire for the Royals. Timeout, Independence. Full timeout. Be back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Experience choice at Mid-State Technical College. Experience your choice to learn with small, in-person classes, online classes, and innovative technology classes. Your choice of school to career or career to career support. Your choice to get started here and transfer as a junior to all UW colleges or with an associate degree in one of our 60 in-demand programs. Experience choice at Mid-State Technical College. Get started at mstc.edu.
At V&H Automotive, you'll get the best price and best selection on all Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, and Jeep models guaranteed. At V&H, our friendly staff is always ready, here to serve you. No pressure, no gimmicks, just great deals, great service, and the best vehicles in central Wisconsin. Come see why our customers rate us #1.
V&H Automotive, a short drive from anywhere, or visit us at vhautos.com.
Back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Independence Indies take their second time out. The Royals on the back of Kayla Kirkman up to a 3-point lead, biggest lead of the game for the Royals. And that nearly tipped by Kristen Casey. Proczynski crossed the timeline. Emily Bowen with one foul. So far, so good for the Royals, and Kendall Dillman comes away with the steal. The freshman has played some great minutes for Coach Klein here this season. Kendall with it on the right side. Gets a screen from Emily Bowen, slightly used. Over to Kristen Casey. Casey skips it down to Emily Bowen, and she lays it in. Great cross-court passing, and Emily Bowen's up to 8. 24-19. Proczynski working against Kendall Dillman right near half court, and she stepped down the line, but Kayla Kirkman comes away with another steal and then missed the layup. Up to Proczynski. Coach Klein says run. The Royals run. Proczynski three-pointer way off the mark, rebounded by Jessie Grunhofer. Coach Klein wants the Royals to run. Don't let Independence get into their zone, and Jessie Grunhofer lays it in. Royals playing like they did against Greenwood last week. Getting easy layups and finishing. Proczynski with it. Picks up her dribble. It's stolen away by Emily Bowen. Kendall Dillman with it. Up to Kayla Kirkman on the right side. Down to Jessie Grunhofer. Grunhofer left hand. Couldn't get it to go. Zy Connor with the rebound for the Indies. 4:35 to go. 26-19. Sammy Nelson getting ready to check back in for the Royals. Good crowd on hand here in Wisconsin Rapids. Sectional semifinal action. Assumption and Independence. Working back over to Zy Connor. Zy has shot one three-pointer this year. Emerson Proczynski misses that one. Emily Bowen with a big rebound. Up to Kendall Dillman. She smartly dribbles it out. Kristen Casey with it. 4:05 to go. Down to Emily Bowen. Bowen over the head of Kendall Dillman. Kendall measuring in just at 5'5", and a turnover for the Royals.
It's a 24-6 run right now.
Royals going small. Youngworth, Nelson, Colo, Casey, and Dillman for the Assumption Royals. Proczynski with it now. 4 minutes to go. Kendall Dillman rips it out of the hands, and another jump ball. And it's going to be back to the Royals. Great hands by the freshman.
And this is why it's a good idea to go small. Independence is really struggling with the pressure that Assumption's showing them right now. And going small is just going to kind of compound that.
Dillman with it. 21-21 down in Wazeeka-Steuben. Keep an eye on that game. Malia Kola with it. Izzy Youngworth, bad pass. Emerson Proczynski picks it up. She's going to push it. The one thing Assumption doesn't have for them is, or has against them is youth, as Sammy Nelson picks up the foul, and Emily Bowen and Jessie Grunhofer check in.
Really excited to get in the game.
Yeah, Jessie just walked to the scorer's table and made her way right onto the court. 3:38 to go, 7-point lead for the Royals. It's been pretty clean first half. Only 5 total fouls. That was one big key coming in. is how would Emily Bowen do with her foul trouble she's had. Sammy Nelson down to Emily Bowen. Bowen steps, right hand, and got it to go. Emily Bowen with 10 in the first half. By far her best game in about 2.5 weeks. To the right side, Prochinski. Back over to Pape. Over to Aubrey Prochinski. And again, Kendall Dillman with the great hands and a jump ball. He'll stay with Independence, but the frustration starting to kick in for Independence.
For sure.
And Coach Zilla will take another timeout. 28-19 Royals. Back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
(28-19), the Assumption Royals on top, as Dan alluded to. 26-6 run for the Royals, and really getting into the face of the Independence ball handlers and forcing a lot of turnovers the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, Independence isn't even getting shots off most of the possessions right now.
Prochinski with it, across the timeline, working right to left. Independence in their road, purple uniforms, knocking off Alma Center Lincoln on Saturday by 2 points. Alma Center hit a 3 at the buzzer, but obviously at that time did not have anything for them, as Sammy Nelson pushes Emerson Prochinski, and Sammy Nelson picks up her second foul.
Assumption's done a really good job keeping Connor kind of a non-issue here after the first initial push. She's not even getting touches on the offensive end.
2:50 to go. Kayla Kirkman getting ready to check back in. Swings it around to Aubrey Prochinski. Swings back around to Aubrey. Looking down to Connor. Good defense by Grundhofer, and Bowen kicks it over to Emerson Prochinski. She lets the three fly off the mark, and Zai Connor misses the layup, and she's going to get fouled by Izzy Youngworth. But again, you got to get a body on the state leading rebounder, and the Royals did not do that, and another foul on Assumption.
She's real slippery.
Yeah.
Having a hard time boxing her out.
Leading the state for the second year in a row with rebounds, third in the state in scoring at 26.2. Into Connor against Grundhofer, and the foul called on Jesse, and Zai will go to line for two.
Yeah, if Independence wants to get back in this game, it's going to have to be pounding it inside with Connor.
1 for 2, her first trip to the line.
I know that Assumption's double teaming her, but she's going to have to work a little bit harder to at least touch the ball each time down.
Zai with the first one, it is up, and it is left short, but she gets the friendly roll, and when you shoot thousands and thousands of free throws, like I'm sure Zai has, you get that touch. Second one for Connor is up, and it is no good. 2 for 4 in this first half for the 6-foot senior. It's 28-20 with 2:20 to go. Down to Grundhofer, working on Connor, back over to Ayanara. Ayanara steps through, floater left short. Rebound taken by Aubrey Prochinski. For the Indies, up to Connor on the right wing. Kicks it all the way over, swings it around. Back over top of the key, Aubrey Prochinski. Right side, Emerson kicks it over to Pape, to Prochinski. Pape, over to Prochinski. Down low, good pass, good seal by Connor, and she lays it in.
Yeah, the weak side help was just a step slow by Assumption.
1:40 to go, 28-22. Kristen Casey has it over to Ayanara. Ayanara's been quiet here in the first half. Kristen Casey with it, swings it around to Izzy Youngworth. Grundhofer, square up Jess. Kayla lets the three fly just off the back bracket, fought for by Kirkman, comes away by Aubrey Prochinski. Kicks it over to Emerson. Thought about the three at the top of the key. 5 team fouls for Assumption, 3 for Independence. have to catch myself from saying Indianapolis or something like the 10th time. 28-22, 1 minute to go, first half. Royals on top. Swings it over to Emerson Prochinski. Top of the key to Pape. Down low. Connor, and a foul on the floor. And again, Zai just too athletic. They throw it up to her. She's going to go up and get it. And the foul will go on the Royals. Jesse Grundhofer. 24. Kristen Casey picks up the foul.
Yeah, no real foul trouble either way. A lot of times when you get to sectionals, you have real good officiating.
Good ball movement out of bounds. And 2 for Alana Back.
Yeah, that one hurts a little bit because those are well scouted ahead of time.
Emily Bowen lays it in. Emily's got 12 here in the first half. 30-24 Royals. Prochinski with it, swings it around. Back over to Emerson. Zai gets fouled, and she'll go to line for bonus free throws. 1-1 coming up for Zai Connor. 27-25 now. Wazika Steuben on top.
Yep, and the highest seed will host Saturday of the 2 winners. So that's one of the reasons why we're really pushing on watching this one.
Kristen Casey checks out. 1-1 coming up for Zai Connor. Just 2 for 4 for the leading scorer here in the first half. First one for Zai is up, and it is good.
That one looked a little bit better.
Yeah.
It looked like she forced her first couple. That one looked a lot more relaxed.
30-25, 28 seconds to go. Connor's second one is up, and it is good. Zai leading the way. 4-point game, 28 seconds left. Kayla Kirkman has it over to Ayanara. 30-26, 20 seconds left. Coach Klein will take a 30-second timeout, set some up. We'll be back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Jason Zaleski here to tell you that Hewitt's Meat has you covered with simple, easy, and free home delivery. Residents of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin get free. That's right, free delivery on every order from Hewitt'sMeats.com. Choose from bratwurst, wieners, bacon, jerky, sausage, cheeses, ham, snack sticks, gift boxes, and even the popular grillers. With over 50 flavors of bratwurst, Hewitt's Meat with free delivery will please your entire family. Visit the store in Tomahawk, Marshfield, or Hewitt's Meat on Facebook today.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Just 18 seconds left, 30-26. Kayla Kirkman inbounding in the front court. Don't forget, stick around for our Wisconsin Rivers Orthopedics halftime show. Hear from Dr. Dillman and get you ready for half number 2. Emily Bowen at the 15-foot line. Down to Jessie Grundhofer. Perfectly in one for Jessie Grundhofer. Perfectly drawn up during the timeout, and Jess is going to line for +1. 8 seconds to go, 8.5 seconds to go. Kristen Casey will check back in. If Jess can make it, it will go. Oh, now they say Emily Bowen to check in. Pape will check back in. 8.8 to go, 32-26. The and one for Jess.
Big points right for the half.
61% from the line, and she knocks it down. Dead ball to Zai Connor. 6 seconds. Going to take it all the way over to Prochinski. Pull up and can't get it to go. Connor can't get it to go, and that one is going to be no good, and that will end our first half. The Royals 33 and the Indies 26. Here from Dr. Dillman, and get you ready for half number 2 from Wisconsin Rapids right after this.
Why am I an orthopedic surgeon? It's a great question. It was nothing I planned. I actually am a Spanish major. Went back to school and became a physical therapist. That was okay, but I decided to go back to school and become the surgeon. I think the biggest thing when you're talking to the patient is if you can relate to them, number one. Number two is if you can teach them what the problem is. If you can teach them what the problem is, they're going to do fine. They're going to learn what it is, they're going to figure out how to fix it, and then they're going to adapt There's days when things don't work out and things are harder than others, but clearly you're here for one reason and you're not here for you. You're here for the patient that comes in. Healthcare is kind of like going to the supper club in Wisconsin. You always feel like you need to travel to get a better Friday fish fry or to get the prime rib on Saturday, but really here we have everything under the same roof. We have everything within a hospital that, quite frankly, is rated in the top 2 hospitals in the state for joint replacements. We have hospitals coming to us to ask how we do joint replacements, how we solve the problem, how we get patients motivated and moving with very low risk and very low complication rates. And our outcomes are much better.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as we get you ready for half number 2. Go through some scoring here in the first half. Alana back for Independence with 6. Aubrey Prochinski with 4. Amaya Ives with 2. Emerson Prochinski with 2 early 3-pointers. She's got 6. And Zy Connor with 8. For the Assumption Royals, Kayla Kirkman with a very nice first half. 7 points for the junior. Kristen Casey banked in a 3. Ayanara Sanzerosas, a very quiet first half. She's got 4. Jessie Grunhofer with 7. And Emily Bowen with 12. Some other games going on. Local games. Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln is at Hudson. Medford is at Onalaska. That's Division 2. Lincoln is Division 1, obviously. Division 3, La Crosse Aquinas hosting Northwestern. Neillsville is at St. Croix Falls. Neillsville down 4 to the Saints. Division 4, Edgar is at Fall Creek. Division 5, Blackhawk is hosting Almond Bancroft. The winner of Blackhawk and Almond Bancroft will take on Rio or Albany in that sectional. Again, the winner of this one will play the winner of Wazeeka Steuben and the Highland Cardinals. Other games going on tomorrow. Obviously Saturday, we're still up in the air. A lot of things to be figured out, but tomorrow night we have Greenwood boys. All these games are boys. Greenwood at Columbus Catholic. Colby is at Stratford. Pacelli will be at Auburndale, and Stanley Boyd will be at Neillsville. These two teams have met before in the postseason. 2009, that was a sectional semifinal at Osseo Fairchild. Wisconsin Rapids Assumption took down the Indies 56-43. They've gotten close. Independence sectional final in 2019, but of course running into the powerhouse that is Blackhawks. 73 games in a row on the winning end for Blackhawk coming into sectional play. So
I'm very familiar with one of those.
Yeah. Down at
State.
Or not down, but over,
State,
I guess.
Yeah.
Over at State. But that first half, Assumption really going down low, getting their points against Zy Connor. Emily Bowen with 12 points. Really doing a nice job high-low that Independence is trying. Assumption capitalizing early on in that first, or I guess not, late in that first half.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what the Independence coach does coming out of the half, because yes, most of the points have come in the paint, whether that was Jesse or whether that was Bone, but it's just too easy for them right now, and the Royals are going to continue to exploit it. So basketball is about a game of adjustments, especially at the sectional and state level, so we'll see what Independence does coming out of the locker room.
Speaking of Independence, Zy Connor, again, she leading the team, leading the conference, leading the state in some aspects. She had 41 points. That was good for – she was tied with 6 other girls this year. That was in second for second in the state at the 41. There was a girl that had 43 earlier this year. She had 41 in a win on December 11th. Blackhawk leads Almond 47-10 at halftime. Again, that's nothing nothing that surprised us, knowing Blackhawk and what's her name, Bailey Butler.
Yep.
One of the top, if not the top, shooting guards or wing players they came out with. Sports did. She's right on top of being one of the top players in the state. Obviously doing what she does.
She's definitely in the discussion for Miss Wisconsin
Yep.
basketball this year.
And again, the winner of this one will play the winner of Highland and Wazeeka Steuben. And you would imagine, knowing, just get your expertise on it a little bit, knowing the teams that are left, especially in this section when they reseed state, the winner of this sectional would probably have to play Blackhawk if Blackhawk makes it.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, going to that seating meeting, you don't want to be 4.
Yeah.
And if Blackhawk makes it, the Northwest sectional is probably the second best.
Okay.
But there's the sectional that's kind of out northeast, and that's where Assumption usually plays out of, right? And that's probably going to come down to Three Lakes or Suring. So the winner of this sectional and that sectional, that's your 3-4, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So definitely not a for sure 4. You don't want to be 4.
Yeah. And in this year, I mean, you'll take it, I guess. I mean, just to keep playing, say that you made it to the state tournament with all the obstacles that you have had. But the Royals, just looking at their previous postseason, 2017 lost in a regional semi to Wild Rose. 2018 and 2019 lost to Wausau Newman. And in 2020, last year, lost in a regional semi to Wild Rose. Independence, 2015 regional final loss to Bangor. 2016 regional final loss to Hillsborough. 2017 regional semifinal loss at Augusta. 2018, again, regional final loss at Bangor. 2019 lost in a semifinal, sectional semifinal against Blackhawk. Last year, regional quarterfinal against Plum City. So they've gotten their chances. 2019 obviously run into Blackhawk, but talked a little bit about what Assumption might do in the second half. What does Independence need to do to close in on this gap?
Yeah, Independence has to figure out a way to set up the offense each time down. Assumption was able to get quite a few live ball turnovers, which led to layups. It's a 7-point game, and that's probably the difference right now.
Yep.
And every time down, Connor has to touch the ball. Even if it's turning the face and passing and trying to post up after the pass, if Independence is going to come back in this game, it's going to be because she scores 20 in the second half.
Yeah, averaging 26.2, just at 8 in that first half, and just 2 baskets made. She was 4 for 6 from the free throw line, and getting the job done for the Independence Indies as she has throughout her career. Again, coming in with 1,269 points. 921 career rebounds, 352 on the offensive board. So that is outstanding. And has been playing her whole career on the varsity level. We are going to take a quick break here once again from Wisconsin Rivers Orthopedics and get you ready for half number 2 from Wisconsin Rapids.
Why am I an orthopedic surgeon? It's a great question. It was nothing I planned. I actually am a Spanish major. Went back to school and became a physical therapist. That was okay, but I decided to go back to school and become the surgeon. I think the biggest thing when you're talking to the patient is if you can relate to them, number one. Number two is if you can teach them what the problem is. If you can teach them what the problem is, they're going to do fine. They're going to learn what it is, they're going to figure out how to fix it, and then they're going to adapt. There's days when things don't work out and things are harder than others, but clearly you're here for one reason and you're not here for you. You're here for the patient that comes in. Healthcare is kind of like going to the supper club in Wisconsin. You always feel like you need to travel to get a better Friday fish fry or to get the prime rib on Saturday, but really here we have everything under the same roof. We have everything within a hospital that, quite frankly, is rated in the top 2 hospitals in the state for joint replacements. We have hospitals coming to us to ask how we do joint replacements, how we solve the problem, how we get patients motivated and moving with very low risk and very low complication rates. And our outcomes are much better.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Taking a look at Royals head coach Ryan Klein, 5th year for Coach Klein, of course, taking over for Joe Burkhauser a number of years ago. Coach Klein winning his first conference championship, tied with Stratford and Auburndale this year, and looking to make it to his first sectional final, which will take place on Saturday, 29-25, with Wazeeka Steuben still on top. Assumption will start with the basketball. 18 minutes to decide it. Ionara with it over to Sammy Nelson. Emily Bowen on the right baseline. Not a lot of movement on this early possession again as it was in the first half. Ionara only 4 points, leading scorer for the Royals, 13 a game. Sammy Nelson lets a three fly and knocks it down, and Coach Klein with excitement yelling at his senior with a big three. 36-26 Royals.
It's a good way to start the half.
Prochinski with it over to Pap to Prochinski. And that one's going to be stolen away, poked away by Sammy Nelson. Sammy didn't play a lot in that first half. Getting her minutes here early on. Sammy Nelson thought about it over to Ionara. Ionara hesitant. Down to Emily Bowen. Gets triple teamed over to Ionara. She lets a three fly and knocks it down. Ionara sends De Rosas for three. Royals up 13 a minute into the second half.
Inside out three. It's going to be open.
Just a matter of, as Assumption has done in this postseason, knocking down those three-pointers. And that was going to be poked away. And Coach Zilla will take a timeout with 16:46 to go. We'll keep it right here as we hear from our friends over at Draxler Transport. Draxler has flatbed driving opportunities that pay you a 5 cent per mile premium over van. At Draxler Transport, drivers are always home for the requested time off. Draxler Transport is a family-oriented company that treats you like family. Visit DraxlerTransport.com to apply today. Couldn't have asked for a much better start for the Royals here in the second half.
Yep. The first half, Assumption really pounded it inside, and they've thrown it inside twice. Back to the outside for 2 open jumpers, and off and running here. 13-point lead early here in the second half.
A couple big threes from a couple of very quiet players in that first half. Ionara, again, 14 and 22, respectively, in her 2 postseason games this year. And then Sammy Nelson hitting a big three. Wazika Steuben stretching it out a little bit on Highland, 34-25. Prochinski with it now. Just crossed the timeline in time. Swings it around over to Aubrey.
Yeah, the Assumption defense is just hounding Independence guards here, having a real hard time getting anything set up.
Prochinski right at center court. Swings it back over to Pape. Pape picks up her dribble, and Ionara with a little body on Prochinski. Over to Pape, three-pointer, knocks it down. Avery Pape, a big three.
And the Indies needed that.
Swings it around to Sammy Nelson, down to Emily Bowen. She gets ripped out of her hands and staying with the Royals. 16 minutes to go, 10-point game, Royals on top. Kristen Casey to inbound. Baseline left to our left into Emily Bowen. Emily gets blocked by Zy Connor. Again, you cannot bring it down if you're Emily Bowen. Keep it high. Prochinski back over to Aubrey. Prochinski, Pape, over to Prochinski again. Back over to Avery Pape, down to Zy Connor, and she lays it in. Easy layup for Zy.
Got to touch it every time down.
She's got 10. 8-point game. Down to Emily Bowen. She gets triple teamed over to Kristen Casey. Casey gets all the way, kicks back over to Ionara. Sends Rosas with it on the right elbow. Over to Sammy Nelson. Left baseline this time. Off the front rim and can't get it to go. Rebound taken by Prochinski up to Zy Connor. Back up to Pape. Right wing. Emerson Prochinski setting up the offense for Coach Zilla. Back over to Emerson Prochinski. Has Emily Bowen on her back. Steps. Back over to Emerson Prochinski. Three-pointer. Rims out halfway down. Knocked away by Kristen Casey. And another steal for the Royals.
Yeah, that ball was halfway down.
And a lot of contact. No call as Kristen Casey misses the floater.
Yeah, I like the no call there.
Bad possession for the Royals as Emerson Prochinski just got her feet into the front court. Prochinski with it. Ives getting ready to check back in for Independence. Sammy Nelson nearly had a steal. Prochinski had a wide open lane, passed it up. Emerson with it again on the right side.
Yeah, the height of Assumption is really taking away the driving layups.
Nice job by Kristen Casey, and she takes it away for the Royals. Nice job on the help defense that possession for Assumption. Ionara down to Emily Bowen. Great pass and lays it in. Punched a gap for the Royals, and good things will happen. Swings it over to Prochinsky into the front court. Back over to Emerson Prochinsky. 41-31, 13:45 to go. Aubrey Prochinsky poked away by Ionara. Is going to get called for the foul of that one. And Kayla Kirkman will check in for Wisconsin Rapids Assumption.
Yeah, Ionara just kind of went through the ball handler a little bit too much.
37-27. Wazika Steuben on top of Highland. Again, Highland knocked off a good Royal team. Royal beat Blair Taylor down at Just a Game Fieldhouse. Blair Taylor's pretty good as well.
Yeah, don't know what happened in that one yet.
Swings it over to Aubrey Prochinsky. Avery Pape at the top of the key. She steps into a three, and she hits the back bracket, rebounded by Ionara. 1-on-3. She's going to Euro step through. Right hand up and in. Ionara, two more. Nobody stopped the ball, and Ionara is going to make you pay. Swings it around over to Emerson Prochinsky to Ives. And just again, barely got her feet in the front court. Emerson Prochinsky on the right wing. Skips it all the way across over to Aubrey. Down to Ives. Three-pointer, Pape left open. She knocks down the three.
Assumption switched up the press a little bit, two times back, and they're really trying to swarm the ball.
Ionara with it. Dribbles out of it over to Jesse Grunhofer. Grunhofer steps through left hand, and she's going to get called for the travel. Turnover on Jess. 43-34, Assumption on top.
I really do like the concept of changing up the press a little bit. You feel like you got your foot on their throats. Really try to hammer it home and try to end it now.
Pape up to Prochinsky in the backcourt, nearly stolen away by Kayla Kirkman. 12:30 to go. Just crossed the timeline, gets double teamed. Picks up her dribble, back over to Avery Pape at the top of the key. Emerson Prochinsky, 9-point game, 12:20 to go. And now it's going to be stolen away, and going to be a foul, I believe, on Izzy Youngworth.
Good aggressive steal attempt, though.
12:15 to go. Izzy's second team foul number 2 here in the half. Up to Prochinsky, top of the key, over to Pape, down low to Ives. Poked away again. Ionara comes away with it. And she's going to step through. She'd get pushed and lays it in. Ionara again with the Euro step. And we'll go to the line for +1. Beautiful move for the junior guard.
It's really nice being left-handed.
Yeah. Especially when some teams don't know that. And
yep, for sure.
Watching hours of tape on some teams and still can't figure it out. Ionara rims out. 0 from the line for San Rosas. Ives with it. Over to Zai Connor. Back over to Emerson Prochinsky. Prochinsky steps up and throws it right into the hands of Kayla Kirkman. Kirkman's going to take it aggressively. Right hand, can't get it to go. Zai with the rebound. She's aggressively pushing it up and got a poked away. Kristen Casey on the right arm, and she will draw the foul with 11:43 to go. 45-34. Jesse Grundhofer again being a little too aggressive to come into the ball game, and she'll check in for.
That's a home scores table. I mean,
yeah. Just check in
let
for
her in.
Kristen Casey. Coach Klein making sure the foul was not on Emily Bowen or somebody else. Again, Zai Connor just flying high to get the pass. Prochinsky back over to Emerson Prochinsky. Senior, junior, and freshman. 3 Prochinskys on this Independence roster.
Popular name in that part of the state, apparently.
Yeah. Prochinsky with it over to Pape. Back over to Pape. Just left of the circle. Skips it all the way across over to Emerson. Goes baseline. It's a good job by Prochizky dribbling out of it, but Youngworth will pick up a blocking foul. That'll be her third as Kristen Casey checks back in for the Royals.
Yeah, she kind of got bailed out on that drive. She was stuck against the baseline, and she did get bumped. So I don't want to say bailed out, but there wasn't a whole lot that the ball handler was going to do with the ball there.
Skips it across near half court, and INR comes away with another steal. She steps through again, left hand, and lays it in again. INR San de Rosas again, 47-34 Royals. Prochizky in the backcourt with it. Back over to Pape.
They're in trouble.
Another nearly stolen away again, and just got it over in time. Down to Ives and intercepted by Ayanara. Again, that cross-court passing. Kristen Casey down to Jesse Grundhofer, double teamed. Emily Bowen near the free throw line. Over to Ayanara. She goes baseline, pulls up, two, got it. San Rosas, two more, and Coach Zilla will take a timeout. Royals up 15, 10-20 to go. Back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our #1 selling tractors are built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota subcompact or compact tractors for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months and save $1,000. See your local Kubota dealer today.
Your local Kubota dealer is Chili Implement, located 1 mile north of Highway 10 in Chili.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
INR having a big second half for the Royals. She's got 11, team high 15 right now for the Assumption Royals. And again, stretching this lead out, 49-34, 10-20 to go. And the Royals have all the momentum and all the energy on their side. 1-3-1 full court now for Wisconsin Rapids Assumption. Pape with it. Up to Prochizky. Up to Zy Connor. Connor back to Prochizky to reset the offense. Swings it back around to the far side. Looking down low to Connor. She gets double team blocked by Bowen. And Bowen with the rebound. INR with it. Skips it up to Kristen Casey. Line drive pass to Jesse Grundhofer. Playing in this little triangle for the Royals.
The old Michigan offense.
Down to Emily Bowen. Bowen, great positioning. Can't get it to go. She got fouled by Connor, and Emily Bowen will go to the line for two.
Yeah, Bowen did a really good job of just carving her way in without the ball. By the time she got it, it was just a simple hook shot from there, and Connor got her on the arm.
Bowen to the line for 2 free throws, 64% for the 6'4 senior. First one for Emily is good. 8.5 points a game averaging. Again, she's been down in the scoring the last since they've been back from quarantine, but even a little bit before that. And Bowen perfect from the line on her 2 free throws. She averages 7.5 rebounds a game, 2 assists per game, 2.5 blocks per game.
The coaching staff has done a good job of getting her in position where the game's easier for her.
Pull up there, left short. Good position there by Connor. She's going to get fouled and lay it in. Missed the first one, got the second one, and lays it in. 9:27 to go. Royals on top. Emily Bowen, just her second. Again, the last handful of games, she's picked up 2 fouls in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, she's done better tonight.
Zai with the free throw make. Malia Colo checks in for the Royals.
And a lot of that, honestly, is because Independence isn't attacking the glass.
Yep. Leaving it all to Miss Connor for Independence. 51-37. Grundhofer with it. knocked away by Zy Connor, just put her hand up. Knocked it right in the hands of INR. She steps through into Malia Colo. Colo with it blocked and fouled hard by Zy Connor. And Malia will go to line for 2.
Yeah, it looks like Connor's getting a little bit frustrated with what's been happening the last couple of minutes here, and really went for the block, got her with the body. It looked like the block on the ball was pretty clean, but knocked Colo down.
3 fouls now on Zy Connor. Malia's first one is good. Good to see Malia hit a free throw. She airballed one against Loyal, I think it was, on Saturday. Coach Klein giving a grin to INR as he told her to go and try and get a rebound against Zy. Malia 2 for 2 from the line, 53-37, 9:08 remaining. Halfway through this second half. Into Connor. No pass over to Prochinski, 3-pointer. Emerson off the mark. Offense rebound down to Pape. Colo slipped, and laying it in easily was Alana Beck.
Yep, good find. Good job keeping her head up.
Can appreciate everyone tuning in here tonight to the sectional semifinal. Assumption and Independence. Zy another rebound off the miss by Jesse Grundhofer. Still a lot of time left. 14-point lead for the Royals.
Yeah, you feel like Independence might have one more run left in them.
Prochinski tried to dribble it behind her back. Ionara poked it out. Emily Bowen checks back in for the Royals, taking out senior teammate Jesse Grundhofer. Prochinski inbounding right in front of the Indies student section. 43-31, Wizika Steuben.
It's looking more and more like this is going to be the seniors' last time on the floor on this court.
Talking to Jess after Kristen Casey's going to pick up her third foul. Talking to, again, sectionals are usually never on home courts, always at a neutral site. So for talking to Jess on Saturday after the win against Loyal, just happy to extend their season and just another mark to be able to play one more home game. 8:13 to go, 14-point lead, and a foul on Sammy Nelson as Zy Connor tried to go up for it. And the Indies now in the penalty the rest of the game. Sammy Nelson picks up her third, team 7th, compared to 3 for Independence. Ives getting ready to check in. First one perfect for Zy Connor. Zy up to 14 now. Again, she had 32 on Saturday against Alma Center. 15 in the regional semifinal. Second one is off the mark. Emily Bowen with a nice rebound. Izzy Youngworth crossed the timeline over to INR. 8 minutes to go, 13-point lead. Emily Bowen, man-to-man now for Independence. Different defense against the Royals. Malia Cola running into INR, resetting the offense. Emily Bowen with it, finds Sammy Nelson on the right side. See if Malia can. There's Izzy Youngworth, 3-pointer. Couldn't get it to go. Offense rebound to Malia Cola. She's going to get fouled and go to line for 2 more. Talking about good positioning on rebounds. Malia, fantastic on that one.
Yeah, Independence has to go man, right? Because there's no shot clock. And we definitely do not want the Royals to take 20 to 40 seconds off the clock each possession here, only with 7.5 left.
First one for Colo, rims out. 53-40, 7:39 to go. And the Royals trailed at one point, 13-2. Colo 0 for 2 from the line. Rebounded by Connor. And Emerson Prochinski across the timeline. Over to Ives. Ives on the right side. Prochinski trying to get that one shot for Independence. Pape swings it over to Prochinski. Down low to Connor, and she lays it in.
Yeah, that's been there all night.
Jess Grundhofer getting ready to check in. 11-point game, 7 minutes to go.
especially without Jess in there.
Emily Bowen studying, right hand up and in. She looked one way, didn't have it, and able to take advantage.
And honestly, if Emily Bowen is going to make that shot all night, it's going to be hard for Assumption to lose any game.
As Malia Colo bumps, has bad foul, easy call, and Emerson Pronchinski going to line for 2. Shooting 60% from the line for the 5'4" senior. Only 2 seniors on this team for Independence, Pronchinski and Connor. A lot of juniors, a couple sophomores. And the first one is good. Emerson hit those 2 big 3-pointers in the first half, has been quiet since. Second one for Pronchinski is good. Averaging 7, has 8. 6:40 to go, 11-point lead for the Royals. Kristen Casey and timeout, Coach Klein. We'll take a timeout with him. We'll be back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Bowen Fine Business Technologies is your complete office technology solution. For 60 years, Bowen Fine Business Technologies has been serving school districts, municipalities, counties, religious organizations, and businesses in Wisconsin and beyond. Visit b-bt.com and let Bowen Fine Business Technologies be your complete office technology solution. That's b-bt.com.
55-44 as the student section here for Assumption dancing along as the Royals take a timeout. Assumption with 4 timeouts left as we see the scores table motioning over to the official. Assumption with 4. I assume Independence probably with 3 or 4 left. Emily Bowen with it now. INR back with it. Man-to-man defense again for Independence. Willing the Royals to shoot outside. Emily Bowen with it now. Swings it around to Kristen Casey on the left wing. Grundhofer top of the key over to Emily Bowen. Looking down low to Izzy Youngworth, taking time off. Ayanara over to Grundhofer. 6:10 to go. Youngworth over to Sanzirosas. Thought about it. Kristen Casey. Motion offense here for the Royals. And Izzy Youngworth took an extra step. There was nobody that came up to the top of the key as she was looking for and turned it over.
Yep, this is the same offense that Coach Klein has run the last 4 or 5 years when he wants to run clock. So we're to that point.
6 minutes to go. 2/3 through the second half. And that one's off the fingertips of Pronchinski. She was pointing up to Pape to throw it up to Connor. And a turnover in the backcourt for Independence. 47-36 was Zika Steuben.
Looks like 6 minutes left there.
And Connor goes flying right over Coach Klein. Trying to inbound it to Bowen, and Zy Connor down to Jesse Grundhofer. Grundhofer left hand, couldn't quite get it to go. That's a good move. Good defense by Independence. 5:40 to go. Connor over to Pronchinski. Swings it up to Pape. Pull-up jumper and got it. Alana back for 2 more. 9-point game, 5.5 to go. INR with it at the top of the key. Over to Izzy Youngworth on the right side. Down to Emily Bowen, poked away by Connor. And off the foot of Emily Bowen as Coach Klein asking why Zy Connor wasn't out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a civil conversation.
Coach Klein taking a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here as we hear from our friends over at Spectrum Benefits. Spectrum Benefit Solutions with offices in Wausau, Stevens Point, Wisconsin Rapids, Medford, and now in Spencer. Spectrum Benefit Solutions is your group benefit provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectrum Benefit Solutions works with hundreds of clients of all sizes to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectrum Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started today. 55-46, Royals on top, but Independence has made the last basket and got the Royals to turn it over as Sammy Nelson checked in. The starters in for Assumption, and we talked about it right after halftime. Independence only going one deep, I guess, on the bench for Coach Zilla.
Quick update, St. Croix Falls leads Neilsville by 2 with about 1:20 left in that one.
The winner taking on Aquinas, I would assume.
Yeah.
That game would be down in lacrosse.
I don't have to look up the Aquinas parent score. It's going to be Aquinas.
Prochinsky swings around to Pape. Into back. Back kicks it over to Prochinsky. Prochinsky to Pape. Three-pointer right side. Got it! Avery Pape for 3. She's got 3 3-pointers in this half. And it's 55-49. 6-point ball game. 4:45 left. Ionara gets the screen from Grunhofer. Skips it over to Jess. Thought about it, takes it all the way, left hand, throws up there, partially blocked by Connor. She gets fouled as Bowen, and she'll go to line for 2.
Yep, that's a good foul for Independence. You want to have Bowen beat you at the free throw line. You don't want to give up a layup. A little bit surprised that Assumption went so quick on that offensively.
4:35 to go. Bowen to the line for 2. First one for Bowen is a high arcing shot. Didn't look like it had enough to get there, but just able to knock it down.
Physics, how does it work?
Yeah. That's why I'm up here. I don't know. Second one for Bowen is good. 2 for 2 for Emily. She's had herself a nice night. 20 for the senior. Her final home game as a Royal. Line drive pass again to Prochinsky, to Pape, to Connor. Again, the Indies are in the bonus the rest of the ball game. 18 fouls for Assumption. And lost control. Ball's on the floor. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to stay with Independence. But again, good hustle by Sammy Nelson. 50-36. Wazika Steuben on top. So the Hornets looking to host a sectional final. Wazika has not made it to state. Right side, Prochinsky. Line drive pass to Connor. Just put her hand up. Skips it around. Foot inside the line, off the mark. Connor another rebound. She just knows on that weak side. Prochinsky lets a 3 fly right side. Rims out. Rebound taken by Black. Can't get that one to go. Rebounded by Kristen Casey. And a foul on Avery Pape. Team foul number 6 on Independence.
That Independence coach wanted a foul on that shot, and it was borderline. Looked like she was bumped a little bit, but no call.
Royals up 8, 3:40 to go. INR with it. Again, don't forget, stick around for our Valley Communities Credit Union post-game show. INR with it into Emily Bowen. Bowen over to INR. INR skips it down to Emily Bowen. Left hand, 22 for Emily. Get the voice of Phil Hartley. Emily Bowen. 10-point game. Again, Assumption's got to be careful as she traveled, but a call. Timeout by Coach Zilla. We'll take a quick timeout. 3:13 to go. 10-point lead, Assumption.
Witness the difference of a Catholic education at Assumption, Columbus, Newman, and Pacelli Catholic schools. Built on family values and reinforced by faith, our schools foster academic excellence and prepare students for lifelong success. Smaller class sizes, individualized support, and diverse opportunities provides for a well-rounded education. Schedule a tour and find out if you qualify for financial assistance or free tuition with Wisconsin Parental Choice. Visit us today at Assumption, Columbus, Newman, and Pacelli Catholic Schools.
When you want to win, you look for an expert. When you want an expert to look after your vehicle, you do the same. Sherrill Tire and Service Center will treat you with respect and remove the stress and anxiety of having your vehicle serviced or repaired. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you understand what you need.
Sherrill Tire and Service. Get your car done right.
10-point lead for the Assumption Royals as Coach Zilla took a timeout right before the travel call on Avery Pape. So Royals up 10, 3:13 to go. And a trip to the sectional final. Assumption looking to get back for the first time since they made state. And Ayanara might put an exclamation mark on it, and she does. Ayanara Sanz de Rosas lays it in. She has had herself quite the second half. 17 for the junior. Prodzinski with it on the right side. Picks up her dribble, finds Connor well beyond the three-point line. Again, Zai doesn't shoot a lot of she doesn't shoot any three-pointers, only 3 in her career. 61-49. Royals haven't scored 61 points. I guess they scored 75 against Greenwood, but haven't scored a whole lot over that mark. Scored 85 against Marathon. Season high. Jesse Grunhofer with it. 2:20 to go. Grunhofer picks up her dribble. Dead silent Jim at times the last couple of seconds. Royals with a trip down to Wazika Stubit on the line. 7-point game there. Grunhofer down to Bowen. Bowen, right hand, blocked, and it's going to be stuck. It's going to be jump ball. It'll stay with the Assumption Royals. As,
Coach Klein showing his hops.
There you go. Easy peasy.
They could have had Paul Jaglinski go out there, but he'd missed it a couple times.
Jag's always good sport. Coaching staff for Assumption, very kind to us, as Coach Klein will take a timeout. See how long we got here. It's going to be full timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds to Assumption High School.
Experience choice at Mid-State Technical College. Experience your choice to learn with small, in-person classes, online classes, and innovative technology classes. Your choice of school to career or career to career support. Your choice to get started here and transfer as a junior to all UW colleges or with an associate degree in one of our 60 in-demand programs. Experience choice at Mid-State Technical College. Get started at mstc.edu.
Awards and More is your one-stop location for awards, plaques, trophies, embroidery, and screen printing, and promotional products. Awards and More is also the proud sponsor of Selesky Sports Athlete of the Month. Visit Awards and More on Facebook to begin your next trophy order today. Royals up 61-49. Coach Klein taking a timeout. Neilsville down 4 with 10 seconds left. Assumption in the second half really hasn't let Independence get within that 7 to 9 points and have been able to keep them away from that here in the second half.
Yeah, Independence made the run. I think they got it to within 6, but then Assumption with a quick 4-0 run and back up to 10.
Coach Zilla saying you got to foul. They are not fouling the Assumption Royals. The next one will put the Royals on the free throw line, and Sammy Nelson, the senior, is going to have to hit some big free throws for Coach Klein.
Got a final from St. Croix Falls. St. Croix Falls defeats Neilsville 47-41. So St. Croix Falls probably going to travel to Aquinas Saturday with a trip to state on the line.
Saw Aquinas right before Christmas, right after Christmas. They came up here to Wisconsin Rapids. Macy Donarski, J.C. Weisbrod. Always a fantastic team. Coach Donarski, Sammy Nelson, 2 for 2, 2 huge free throws for the senior. Again, don't forget, stick around for our Valley Communities Credit Union postgame show. We'll have an opportunity to talk to the winning coach and player of the game. Nearly stolen away there, nearly a turnover. 100 seconds to go in the ball game. 63-49. Swings it around to Connor. Again, Zai just 16 tonight.
Yeah, Independence has to go. Got to show some urgency here.
1:20 to go. Again, only 5 losses on the year. They lost to Alma Center twice. And through the hands of Pape and out of bounds. 1:16 to go. As Sammy Nelson will take it out.
Independence not a deep team, so very, very rarely will they actually press.
And again, not a lot of urgency on that last possession for for Independence.
Hudson, 61. Rapids Lincoln, 37. Hudson undefeated still in the season. The only D1 undefeated team left.
Under a minute to go as Coach Zilla will clear his bench, and the Assumption Royals will have a date. There's 2 minutes left in that game down there, 7-point game. The Assumption Royals will have a date in the sectional final on Saturday evening or afternoon. We will have it for you here on Selesky Sports. INR dribbling it out. 30 seconds to go. What a ball game for Assumption. Fell behind early, 13-2, and came all the way back. A huge lead as Prochinski will draw the foul, and Zy Connor steps off the court for the final time as an Independence Indy, and Coach Klein will clear the bench and bring in the Assumption Royals. Giving a big round of applause for Emily Bowen, Jesse Grundhofer, INR Sans de Rosas, and company. Maria Hartley checks in. Sadie Donahue checks in. Kendall Dillman checks in. Morgan Reichel checks in. As the Assumption Royals, Emily Bowen, Jesse Grundhofer, and the rest of the Royals will see Sammy Nelson, Maria Hartley, their final time here at Assumption, 63-49. Assumption will have a date in a sectional final. Location and time to be announced in about 90 seconds in the game down in Wazeeka-Steuben. And that will do it. The Assumption Royals will head to a sectional final with a huge win, 63-49 over the Independence Indies. We'll take a quick break, come back with our Valley Communities Credit Union postgame show. Back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Want free? Really free rewards checking? We got that. Need a mortgage? Fast and local, which we actually keep?
We've got that.
Want debit card control at your fingertips? Turn it on or off from your smartphone. How about real-time transaction notifications too? We got that.
At Valley Communities Credit Union, we've got that, and you can get it too. Call or visit any of our 5 locations to talk with a VCCU team member today.
At V&H Automotive, you'll get the best price and best selection on all Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Ram, Dodge, and Jeep models guaranteed. At V&H, our friendly staff is always ready, here to serve you. No pressure, no gimmicks, just great deals, great service, and the best vehicles in central Wisconsin. Come see why our customers rate us #1.
V&H Automotive, a short drive from anywhere, or visit us at vhautos.com.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Jason Zaleski here to tell you that Hewitt's Meat has you covered with simple, easy, and free home delivery. Residents of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin get free. That's right. Free delivery on every order from Hewitt'sMeats.com. Choose from bratwurst, wieners, bacon, jerky, sausage, cheeses, ham, snack sticks, gift boxes, and even the popular grillers. With over 50 flavors of bratwurst, Hewitt's Meat with free delivery will please your entire family. Visit the store in Tomahawk, Marshfield, or Hewitt's Meat on Facebook today.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. The Assumption Royals heading to the sectional final on Saturday as they take down the Independence Indies 64-49. We're here with our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Emily Bowen. Emily, a huge game tonight. 22 points and getting the job done down low. Just talk about your performance tonight.
Well, we had Zaya on me, and she was playing really good defense, and they just kept feeding me the ball, and then I would kick out, and then, I don't know, making easy plays.
Just talk about the ball or the game plan coming in against Zai. 26 points a game, holding her to 16 She got her rebounds, obviously, but what was the game plan coming in against such a great player like she is?
We knew we had to sandwich her and keep her off the boards because that's where she scores most of her points, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Now, last week, not knowing if you were going to be able to play another game at home, got the opportunity, took full advantage. What does it mean to be able to play your final game, 22 points at home, and getting the big win?
It's awesome having all of our fans and all of our students cheering us on, and our community. It's really nice.
All right, we're going to put you in the house. Are we going to put her in the house? All right, we're going to put you in the house.
Okay. I'm Emily Bowen, and I'm in the house.
Thank you, Emily. All right, now just waiting on Coach Klein here. Coach, you just talked about it a couple seconds ago. Here, I'll take mine off too. Why not? All right. We just talked a little bit about it just off camera. Not quite the start, down 13-2, but got up to a 26-6 run right before halftime. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a testament to the different ways that we can be a good basketball team. We have so much depth. I mean, Kirkman and Dillman, I mean, those two gave us a huge spark off the bench, and Emily and Jess are in a battle all night. I mean, that poor kid had to deal with those two, the entire night. So we needed some guard play to spark us, and they took care of it for us in the first half, and then some good stuff in the second half to seal the deal.
INR doing INR things in the second half, scored 4 in the first, and got a lot of turnovers, a lot of easy layups in the second half. Just talk about her contribution in the second half.
Yeah, you never had footwork like that, did you?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
And that's one thing that Dan Ross and I talked a little bit about, how nice it is to be a lefty. I mean, INR are doing things that we wouldn't think about doing, but now moving on Saturday, not knowing right now where you're playing, but just talk about being able to go to a sectional final.
Honestly, God's honest truth, I hope that we can meet somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Because whether we have to go to Wazeeka or Highland has to go here, it's just kind of tragic to have to play at 1 o'clock on a Saturday from, 2.5 hours away. So if we can get that figured out, that'd be great. If not, whatever, we figure it out there. And, like you said, we're blessed to be able to do it. And extremely happy for the girls. I mean, that was a whole team effort there to get that thing done. I mean, I got to shout out my coaching staff, Paul especially. I mean, he put together like a 2.5-page scouting report for us. So it takes me a long time to read. I'm a math guy, so. But, I mean, it was great. Just the whole program really, we were prepared for something like that. So it was great.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you Saturday.
Hey, Coach Klein in the house! Yeah. I'm sweating in this thing right now, and I remember a couple years back when I was wearing that.
Yeah.
That thing's hot, isn't it?
It's pretty warm, yeah. 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 So.
All right,
thanks, Coach. We'll see you Saturday. All right, with that, we're going to wrap things up here from Assumption High School. We're going to send it over to Dan Ross.
That's right. Thanks, Steve. We have 18 seconds to go. Wazeeka's up by 7. So we're going to call this Wazeeka trying to inbound it. It definitely looks like that it's going to be 1 o'clock Saturday at Wazeeka Steuben, unless the WIAA jumps in and decides to
updating the game where it's going to be
to make it more neutral site. But it looks like it's going to be at Wazeeka 1 o'clock Saturday here on Zaleski Sports. All right, and with that, thanks everyone for watching. Again, the Assumption Royals advance to the sectional finals to play Wazeeka Steuben Hornets.